Hey everybody, it's Jay and Nick. We are back from Joliet, Illinois, where they literally give you waffle fries and bacon-wrapped bratwurst for breakfast. And for that, we kind of love it. Now, a couple of horrible things to get right out of the way. One, the weather, just terrible. There was alternately pounding rainstorms where you couldn't see 3 feet in front of your face and the roads were getting washed away, and searing, blistering heat. Somehow at 108% humidity, I don't know how that's possible. It should just be water, right? But it was unbelievable. Also butt terrible, this is less of a surprise, the Mitsubishi 3000 of Team MST3K. These are actually great guys, and they're really trying with this car. But the Mitsubishi 3000, it is in the pantheon of incredibly bad Lemons cars. They built their own V6 3000 3-liter motor. The best thing about this car, though, is that there are shocks and springs and struts, and I don't know what holds these things together. That was all jankified, so I said, we got a great idea. We're going to take ratchet straps and just crank it all right down. Like, that's only going to work when you're doing this, and when you're doing that ain't going to lift the car right off the ground. So that didn't work out very well. So it's a good thing that their motor blew up in like 10 laps because they were going to die.
Meanwhile, in the penalty box, couple of good penalties, couple of good bribes. One of my favorite penalties was the Black Flag Olympics, where the drivers had to hula hoop, they had to paddle ball, they had to jump rope, which, could have led to some old sweaty Lemons dudes totally honking out. But it didn't. They didn't, so that was great. All's well that ends well. The team brought us a whole barrel of water balloons as a bribe, and man,
we got a lot of use
out of those. That's fun for the whole family right there.
And Eric wanted me to mention there was a cat-ass bribe that involved a plastic cat with, and you had to stuff money for, and it was too messed up, and I just forget it. Forget it. It's never happening again.
Now, we've mentioned this recently, but the rebodied Lemons Replicar is really becoming a thing, and and it's great. So this race had the Tata's Seville-bodied Camaro. It had the Met Show and their 935 Porsche, which is actually a Geo Metro with a Taurus motor in it. And we had the Molzon Straight Jackets, which is an Alpha Spider done up to look like a Renault Alpine race car.
And those guys do not get enough credit. That is an absolutely fantastic car. That thing is badass. Another thing that we had is we had a couple of new cars show up, and by new I mean they looked like new cars. There was a Blazer, there was an Acura TL. They were both incredibly cheaty. They were both incredibly hella slow. So of course people see them, he's an outrage, and then the car finishes in the bottom third. Now you know what didn't finish in the bottom third? There were also two Oldsmobiles. They really didn't get the love they deserved at this race, and I feel sort of bad about that. They sort of flew beneath the radar, but both of these things were terrible cars, and they did kind of pretty well.
All right, heroic fix. The Hyundai Scoop of Moon Boostin'. Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called, Moon Boostin'.
Moon Boostin'. Now, the Hyundai Scoop is one of those cars that Judge Phil and other judges, what we really want to see in Lemons is
the hot
ticket. Scoop. And like all judge-based suggestions, it results in disaster for the team that tries to accomplish that.
To be fair, these guys have refused to give up. They should have given up.
So
Scoop is the worst car ever made.
It's a bad car, and at this particular race, they had to make literally 25 trips to the junkyard for Scoop parts, and they got banged up. One of the dudes needed stitches, the other guy needed a tetanus shot, and it was all messed up. But they did actually get it back on track temporarily, I'm sure. But for the time being, it was very heroic.
And the flip side, the I Got Screwed trophy was the Rod Throwing Fools. Now these guys, they have a V6 powered kludge together MR2. Car has never done anything, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 or 4 races they're like vying for P1. I don't know what they got figured out. Nick suggested,
I think they got rid of the problem driver. I don't think it was like they found hidden horsepower. I think they got rid of Steve, who was messing it up for everybody.
Whatever it was. Anyway, so these guys have been doing great, and it would be fabulous to see them win. Now that did not happen, because at the end of the day on Sunday they were either P1 or P2, and they were right in the mix. Flat tire, driver's side front. Okay, we're coming in real fast. They got their spare on. They had one more tire for that corner of the car. Got the car back out. Went out. 35 seconds later, that tire went flat. Well, it turns out they had broken the spring. The edge of the spring was like an X-Acto blade poking right into the tire. They destroyed all their tires. They were not P1. They did not even finish. But they were that close.
You know what would have solved that? Ratchet strap. So Autobahn Country Club is a country club.
It is a country club.
And there's members there,
right.
and they drive around. They're all dentists and real estate agents and whatever it is.
Right.
And they drive around in their Ferraris, usually at about 70 miles an hour through the paddock.
Yeah, their radicals are essentially at top speed going through the paddock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they've got their track toys, they've got their fancy cars, and they're going back and forth to the snack bar all day. That's like the tableau at Autobahn Country Club.
Right. Exactly. So we decided for this race we were going to give the Most Like a Member Car Award.
Yeah.
And that went to a team that has an Acura that they turned into a not credible, but sort of convincing you knew what it was supposed to be. Ferrari Formula One
the
car.
third one of those things.
Yeah, exactly. It had the thing on the back, and it had the great wing on the nose and all that sort of stuff. And it actually looked pretty great, and I'm very grateful that the wing didn't fall off and kill somebody, because that was 50-50. But, so they got this trophy, and they were really happy because they've never won anything, because what? They have an Acura done up like a Ferrari Formula One car, and then they got into their tow rig to leave the race. Tow rig exploded. So, hey, it's only a half an hour home. It's just a race car with no plates, no registration. What could possibly go wrong? So they get on that thing. They shoot down the highway to go home. Another one of those nice little cells opens up. It's a complete rainstorm. It washes out the road. They do make it home. However, the car is literally that full of water sloshing around. There's sparks everywhere. I don't think we're going to be seeing that car again for a while.
All right, Judge's Choice went to this team in a Mercedes. We think that they were actually driving like the customer car for the Mercedes shop that they worked at, and we're going to return it like, well, we fixed the problem. Anyway, that's all secondary to the fact that they had a dude on their team, Safety-saurus Rex.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. They're moving in herds. They do move in herds.
Organizer's Choice went to Shell Shocked Racing and their Horrible Gremlin. Their Horrible Gremlin with so many Earl Scheib repaints on it. It was like that thick. I mean, the whole car was like a prairie. And this is one of those cars. It shows up. It's got IOE in the bag. I mean, all they need to do is go around the track a few times, not get into trouble, and not speed in the pits repeatedly. Well, they didn't do that last one, and so IOE snatched defeat from the jaws of victory on that one. They also did not do that many laps.
Well,
it is a Gremlin. They put a V8 in it and big disc brakes, and Judge Steve said, "Oh man, that's going to dominate. Like that car is a real threat." I think they did like 8 laps. I mean, it was terrible.
You know, that's the second time Judge Steve has looked at a Gremlin and been worried about the performance potential. Maybe
I think we can pretty safely cross the Gremlins off as a threat to dominate.
I feel like there must be something in his history, like in previous racing, where it was just like the Gremlin was
that
the car.
Gremlin, I can't shake it. Yeah.
And now every time he sees a Gremlin, you know, he could be driving a Nissan GTR and be like, well, I'm not racing that car. Well, who knows what's happening under the hood of that Gremlin.
Well, regardless, they did get your choice, because at the end of the day, it was an incredibly terrible Gremlin, and they did put a V8 in it, and they put disc brakes in it, and, you know, you got to get something.
The index of effluency goes to Team Anarchy, who is a veteran team.
Yeah, though you'd never know it.
Unbeknownst to everybody. And here's why. They've been coming to Lemons for years, and they have the Black Shadow. And it is a turbo Chrysler that has been broken 99.8% of the time. So by the time this thing was running around on Sunday and people are like, hey man, that's like,
I've never seen that car before.
That must be a new entry. Are these guys new? We've never seen this before. They dominated Class C. They won by 30 laps. Eric put in his notes that will never happen again. I agree with that assessment.
On the other hand, what are the chances that that car will finish another race? I mean, it hasn't finished first like 40.
Well, it could be like one of those things where it'll be a return to the mean, where now it'll just be great for another 40 races.
Yeah,
what do you think?
No, I don't think. Also, I just want to say before we move on, for reasons that nobody seems to understand, this Dodge Shadow has about an extra 12 inches of suspension clearance.
Right.
Yeah, it's way up on its tippy toes, and it does not seem to affect the handling.
Probably because, you know, they had the lazy boy seats in there, and they took one of them out, and it went, and then they went, oh crap, we better take that, and then like, all right, that fixed it, it's even. It's 12 feet off the ground, but I think it'll be fine. And it was! There you go, IOE.
All right, here's Lemons in a nutshell.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face.
What are the chances you were filming that? What, they pull the whole tow hook off?
Because there's just...
That's what I...
Yeah.